So everybody, hey everybody, welcome back. So last night I was talking about a fake review at somebody, specific person, but it's not actually him, you know. He claims he's not behind it. Somebody's, we think, he's assuming his identity to write a fake review under his name for me to retaliate against that person and defame him in turn. Retaliate in kind, you know. And then they can use that against me to try and put me out of business. That's why they put a fake review, but somebody specific, you know. That's, you know, view the previous episodes. So I define that as a character assassination, you know. Why? We don't know why, but me as a business owner and having, you know, some position and some power, you know. As significant as it may seem, a dog walking business, you know, if you have totalitarian ambitions, then everything gains an edge of importance. So the character assassination. What is character? So let's start from the beginning, you know. Attends. So many people, this is from the book Ready, Aim, Fire, Character Assassination in Cuba. So many people, their reputation is worth more than their lives, you know. And throughout history, there have been examples of people fighting having duels to the death, you know, over matters of honor. And many wars have been fought and genocides have been committed in defense purportedly of national honor and race. So it's really important. So what is character assassination? It's an organized form of state-sponsored terrorism, you know. It's state-sponsored destruction of reputations. It's not personal defamation or institutional criticism, you know. It's not personal, it's state-sponsored. So it is a deliberate and a sustained process with the aim to destroy totally the credibility and reputation of a person, an institution, a social group, or a nation. So again, and how do they do that? There are different methods. There's covert and overt methods. For example, they do it by the dissemination of falsehoods. For example, the fake review. They comment on another 5-star review that I stole my dog, you know. Dissemination of falsehoods. The raising false accusations. Planting, fostering rumors, manipulating information, and fabricating false perceptions. For that the owner of this business stole his dog, which he adopted and cared for lovingly. So, and what it does to a person, it creates a counterfeit image. It erases the real history of the person and replaces it with a counterfeit image what others are meant to fear or reject. And the author describes that as akin to murder. It's a symbolic form of assassination, but the damage can be drawn out infinitely. And it actually, you know, I was joking about it making the book would maybe make references to Facebook, but it's exactly what it does. And this is the age of Web 2.0 and social networks. And ever since that, you know, they provide faster, more efficient dissemination, you know. So it is that they have adopted it. And we're going to get to that. See, I don't have much time to do this anyway. See, I took loads of notes for you guys. So it needs acceptance. And the goal is to be accepted. They plant the seeds of prejudice against the victims. And they want the social collective memory. They want to gradually root it into social collective memory. And to be accepted as history and truth, you know, as accepted truth. And here we're talking about character assassination. It's not just against people, against individuals, it's against groups. Like, for example, in Nazi Germany, the Jews, there was a huge character assassination preceding the mass genocide in order to get the consent and the cooperation of the people. So, and, you know, they infiltrate, you know, false perceptions can eventually infiltrate educational systems, etc. That's more about the broad idea. So what are the purposes of character assassination? The most common ones are to nullify someone's potential influence. For example, me as a business owner, when they lock me up for my retaliating the defamation, which I didn't because I'm not stupid, and to silence their voices and to promote their rejection from society. So and most importantly, also to make them more vulnerable to greater abuse, you know. And by them, I would add, by making the victims, they turn them into non-persons. They transform the people into non-persons, to make them more vulnerable to physical aggression, incarceration. Like I said, trying to lock me up for the thing, for defending my reputation and honor, incarceration, confiscation of properties, like, you know. Expatriation. You know, I'm in line. My parents own home property here, a really nice big home, you know. There's another reason to abuse me. Confiscation of property is expatriation, murder, genocide. So, and there's far-reaching consequences, you know. Unlike a smear campaign driven by an individual, You know, this is way more far-reaching. And they try to do this in a larger scale to gain the cooperation of the masses for genocides and crime against humanity. So you're talking about the state. This is like statecraft, it's state evil, you know. For example, Germany, Rwanda, Cambodia genocide. The early signs of society's compliance are the loosening the reins on the perpetration of crimes and even massacres, you know. Where when the government when the public accepts the allegations of the government without question in its campaigns of destroying the dignity and reputation of its adversaries. And these campaigns of characterization are the prelude to violence. Ruining the reputation of adversaries is the prelude to the mobilization of violence in order to annihilate them. And it creates this ethical deterioration. When decent people begin taking part, join or are indifferent, and begin taking part in carrying out indecent actions, or showing indifference to them, a widespread ethical deterioration begins, and it all stems from the officials behind this character assassination, because only they could have known who it was. And well, where are we? 1 second, please. And those in power disseminate an official morality that negates universal ethical values. So, for example, here, destroying my reputation, reading fake reviews, calling me a liar. That is the workings of a criminal mind, of a degenerate mind, of lack any ethical values. And for example, Cuba, why is it, you know, I don't know much about Cuba, but I know a few things. And there's no democratic rule of law, and an elite class wields absolute power in Cuba. An elite class. How to do that? The government constructed mindsets in the name of social justice, did that pretending they were you know, furthering social justice. And now and then the mechanisms through propaganda and cultural educational systems for the past 50 years, you know, they have been fostering social biases against those who don't support them, you know, their objectives, the elite's interest, you know. And Cuba learned its techniques from its socialist brothers in the Soviet Union, KGB. And how did the Cuba do it? You know where it is? It's in the Ministry of the Interior. That's where these things are. Just like I was saying, it's an attempt at framing me by provoking me, attacking my honor, making me retaliate to protect my honor by retaliating him, the person who's attacking my reputation, and say that he trying to defame him back, which I didn't. And see, that's again something that would be happening with the collusion of the interior, in order to use that as an attempt to frame me. And what matters is the people here. That's what matters. It's with the collusion of the people. The people have to not accept. Because in Nazi Germany, it didn't happen without the people, you know, without the people's acceptance, and collusion. They did that by character assassinating the Jews and calling them, you know, worms and stuff like that. So hold up. I should have numbered the pages. Yeah, and so the Web 2.0 and the Cuba discovered the potential, as did the Luxembourg, the apparatchik, the organs of oppression, and the totalitarian takeover of people's legitimate businesses. Discovered the internet's potential tool in character assassination campaigns. See, now they can just use viral marketing techniques, stuff like that. So the process is the propaganda machine fabricates them in Cuba. Propaganda machine fabricates the message, it disseminates on the internet, and if accepted, it's spread, it is successful, and people adopt it as truth. Okay, thanks a lot. That's enough for today.